Imagine trying to build a massive, sprawling metropolis from scratch. You stack up skyscrapers, lay down roads, and get ready for the grand opening. But the whole thing hits a wall. There is absolutely no power to run it. That is exactly what humanity faced in the 1880s. People were only just figuring out how to use electricity to light their homes, and the race to actually power real, rapidly growing cities had just begun. The stakes were total. The winner of this race would set the technical standard for every wire, socket, and bulb on the planet. For those who could afford it, the demand was incredibly obvious. Early wealthy adopters were already illuminating their dining rooms with electric light, proving that people desperately wanted out of the dark. Building a reliable grid meant solving a complex engineering puzzle and securing the most lucrative technological monopoly in history. Enter the reigning champion, Thomas Edison. He was already famous and heavily backed by investors, and had developed his own proprietary method of delivering power called direct current, or DC. On the other side was Nikola Tesla, a quieter, highly brilliant underdog who actually used to work for Edison. Tesla didn't agree with his former boss's methods. He stepped into the ring with a completely different technology, alternating current, or AC. These two inventors held entirely incompatible scientific theories. Those conflicting visions were about to ignite a bitter public war over how the entire world would get its power. To understand why this rivalry turned so vicious, we first have to look at the mechanics of their two competing technologies. This graph shows Edison's direct current. Think of it like water flowing through a regular garden hose. It provides a steady, continuous push. But a steady, flat push loses its strength quickly. After a mile or two, the energy simply bleeds out. In a real city, that meant you would have to build a loud, coal-burning power plant on almost every street corner just to keep a single neighborhood's lights on. Tesla's alternating current operated on a different principle. Instead of a flat push, AC electricity moves in a dynamic wave. The electrons rapidly vibrate back and forth. Because they maintain this rhythmic motion, the energy can be pushed for miles from one central location. The physics alone dictated the winner. AC was the only realistic way to string an entire city onto a single, efficient power grid. Tesla knew he had the superior science, but he needed capital. So he partnered with George Westinghouse, a wealthy industrialist, to bring AC power to the masses. Edison saw the threat immediately. His entire fortune relied on a network of local DC plants that Tesla's system could replace with a single distant generator. Faced with a better product, Edison chose not to improve his own engineering. Instead, he decided to protect his monopoly by playing dirty. He went straight to the newspapers, feeding them rumors and deliberately branding Tesla's alternating current as a deadly monster that would kill people in their homes. He even staged terrifying public demonstrations, using intense electrical sparks to shock and frighten audiences into believing AC power was unsafe. By prioritizing fear over facts, Edison launched one of history's first major corporate smear campaigns, trying to suppress a more efficient technology with misinformation. The real test arrived at the 1893 Chicago World's Fair. This was an enormous global exhibition that required a massive amount of electricity to operate. Defying Edison's heavy media pressure, Tesla and Westinghouse managed to win the contract to power the event. When they flipped the switch, alternating currents safely illuminated hundreds of thousands of lights across the fairgrounds, shattering Edison's claims of danger. Powering that display were enormous industrial generators, proving that AC could reliably handle city-scale loads. The public finally had their proof. With the flick of a switch, visitors saw the safety of AC for themselves, rendering Edison's warnings ineffective. The backlash for Edison was severe. Even his own investors realized his aggressive bullying was hurting their bottom line, and they eventually pushed him out of his own electricity company. Following the success in Chicago, cities around the world adopted Tesla's cheaper, centralized AC model as the universal standard. That decision laid the groundwork for the grid we rely on right now. Every time you plug your phone or computer into a wall, you are drawing on the alternating current that Tesla fought to implement. History shows that fear and lobbying can delay a transition, but the efficiency of the AC grid proved impossible to suppress.